In the beginning, before cities, before nations, before history as we know it, there was creation. According to the biblical story in the book of Genesis, God created the heavens and the earth and filled the world with life. Then came humanity. God formed the first man from the dust of the ground and breathed life into him. His name was Adam. Adam opened his eyes in a world unlike anything we know today, a perfect place called the Garden of Eden. Everything he needed was there. Flowing rivers, beautiful trees, animals, and peace. But even in paradise, Adam was alone. According to the story, God said that it was not good for man to be alone. So while Adam slept, God created a companion from one of Adam's ribs. When Adam awoke and saw her, he recognized her as his partner. Her name was Eve. Together, Adam and Eve became the first human family in this biblical tradition. Adam and Eve lived in Eden with one instruction. They could eat from every tree in the garden except one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They were told that eating its fruit would bring consequences. For a time, life remained peaceful. But the story takes a turning point. A serpent appeared and spoke to Eve. The serpent questioned the command and suggested that eating the fruit would open their eyes and make them wiser. Eve looked at the fruit. She took it. She ate. Then she gave some to Adam, and he ate as well. At that moment, according to the story, everything changed. Adam and Eve became aware in a new way. They felt fear and shame for the first time. When God called for them, they hid. The story describes a conversation where responsibility, choices, and consequences became central themes. Because they disobeyed, they could no longer remain in Eden. Adam and Eve left the garden and entered a different life, one of work, hardship, growth, and human experience. Outside Eden, they built a family and began a new chapter. Their children became part of the continuing story of humanity. In many religious traditions, Adam and Eve symbolize the beginning of human life and human choice. For generations, people have interpreted this story in different ways. Some view Adam and Eve as historical individuals. Others see the story as symbolic, a reflection on human nature, freedom, responsibility, and the relationship between humanity and God. Across cultures and centuries, the story has remained one of the most influential origin stories in history. Whether understood as history, theology, or symbolism, the story of Adam and Eve continues to raise timeless questions. Where did humanity begin? Why do people make difficult choices? And what does it mean to live with freedom and responsibility? And so, according to the biblical tradition, the story of humanity began, in a garden. End.